The Stilfontein Mine is to be opened to allow emergency teams to access the remaining illegal miners underground. This is according to an order granted by the Gauteng North High Court. The court order is effective pending the finalization of the application by Society for the Protection of Our Constitution, which will be heard on Tuesday. Joining us now is Yasmin Omar from Zehir Omar Attorneys. Yasmin, thank you so much for joining us. Really do appreciate it. This is an interim order, effectively, pending the finalization of the main application. In the main application, and you're representing the applicants here, you guys are asking for the court to grant a more extensive order, and that is for humanitarian aid and intervention to be granted, not just for the mine shaft to be opened, for emergency staff to be let in. Talk to us about what will happen between now and Tuesday.
Okay, so thank you so much for having us. The application was brought, as you've indicated, for more extensive relief, and it was pursued on an urgent basis, and the Pretoria High Court today listened to the parties. The respondents' representatives were in court, and they wanted more time to prepare their opposition to this application, and the court gave this interim relief pending a hearing of the matter on Tuesday. So between now and then, what is supposed to happen is that emergency personnel must be permitted entry to that mine. So at the moment, you'll remember that the mine was blockaded. It was blocked to members of the public, giving relief to those who were trapped underground. So government took the attitude that we are not going to give relief to the people underground, and in addition, they prevented members of the public from giving relief. So that being the case, people underground were trapped without food, without water, and without especially medical assistance. So with the order that's been granted today, which we plan to serve in due course, the sheriffs, we've been in contact with the sheriff already, that will allow us to at least get emergency relief to the people who need it.
Yeah, as it stands, Yasmin, the court has not ordered the government to act in any certain way. All it said that the mine shafts must be open, and it says no non-emergency personnel may enter the shaft. Two things are happening here. One, what we know from a reportage that we've been bringing is that it's community members that have been leading sort of the relief efforts of retrieving the bodies. They're not emergency staff, so they won't be allowed entry. Who then are the emergency staff in this instance that will be allowed entry, given that the government has not yet been ordered to very specifically go in and retrieve the bodies?
Yes, so the government is not allowed, to the exception of emergency care workers. So ambulances, paramedics, and medical practitioners, those kind of people may be brought onto the site to give medical relief to the people who are there, and that will prevail until Tuesday.
The medical relief will be happening on ground, not in the shafts, I would assume.
No, they are permitted to gain entry into the shaft insofar as same is necessary. You will see that from the court order.
Yeah. Paramedics, however, are not technically fit enough to go underground. They would need extensive help from engineers, geologists, technicians, which typically would come from a government agency like the Department of Mineral Resources. They don't yet have such an order. So as it currently stands, it doesn't seem clear to me that the government has to do anything up until your case is heard on Tuesday.
You see, this line of thinking, with respect, is what has government in the position it is today. We are all sitting by, and we find every technicality to prevent these people underground being given assistance. Now, those people underground are dying. We've pulled out a dead body from that mine. So when we say emergency medical care must be given to them, let the emergency personnel decide what is best for them. If they need to recruit the third parties to assist them, they must do that. They must do all that is reasonable to give medical care to the people who are underground.
Yeah. Let's talk about the case that you're bringing on Tuesday, where the relief you're asking for is a lot more extensive. There you're asking very specifically for humanitarian aid to be provided, for assistance to be given as far as medical resources are concerned, as well as the assistance of not just retrieving the bodies, but making sure that they're okay after the fact, presumably that they are not arrested in the process of that. What is the jurisprudence that you're relying on in the instance of this case? Government has made it clear, as the Minister and the Presidency has said, they're not going to be assisting criminals, as they've already criminalized the mine workers who are underground. What is the jurisprudence you're depending on that will compel government to be able to do this?
What is the jurisprudence? The jurisprudence is the most excellent and the perfected legislation for the country. It's the Constitution. We fought long and hard for this Constitution. People were killed for this Constitution, and we have a Bill of Rights. People have the right to life. They have a right not to be tortured in this fashion. That is the jurisprudence. We're coming to court to tell the court, tell government to abide by this Constitution that we put them in government to implement. So it is. The arguments to be presented to the court shouldn't be all that so technical. We've got people who are dying underground. People are dying in mass. 4,500 people dying. They have a right to life. That right to life is guaranteed in the Constitution. We're calling on government, respect that right to life. Your need to persecute and get people found guilty of something can't supersede the right to life. If government wants to take measures against illegal miners, they can do that in the normal course. But to trap people underground, to starve them, and allow them to die in that fashion is inhumane. It is not what us as a new democracy should allow to happen.
Yasmin Omar, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it, and all the best.